Hi there, welcome to my little novelty engine. I happen to call it the dominant flywheel. Reason being is the dominance of the flywheel over the crank pin. Let's turn it around for you to have a quick look. The whole of it is made up out of scrap bits and pieces from my workshop, and all of it is held together by epoxy resin, so it's a tiny little bit delicate. The flywheel is made from an old tuning capacitor from a radio, a little bit of brass on the shaft, some bearings out of an old motor, and the crank pin is from an old 12-volt car tyre inflator. We've got a spring out of an old alarm clock, and really that's about it. Or maybe the fact that it's got a little weight on it. This is to tune the length of the spring. You simply slide it along till you get the right length. It's a bit like a pendulum on an alarm clock, or like tuning a guitar by moving your fingers up and down the strings. Anyway, for what it's worth, let's give it a spin. You put the energy into the flywheel and away it goes. There we go. What about that? The crank pin is pushing the spring down and the spring is pushing it back up. I don't think there's any spare energy from it, so you can discount that one. But let's give it another spin. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'll just get myself a screwdriver and we'll show you the tuning of the spring. What we're going to do is loosen this bolt and move the weight along, if it will actually go along. There's a bit of old junk out of my scrap drawer. Do the bolt up a little bit and we'll go again. How about that? The further back you put the weight, the faster it goes, because you've changed the spring tension. But I still don't believe there's any spare energy from it. I really don't. Anyway, happy viewing. We'll spin it round. There we are. So you can probably pop out into your workshop and duplicate this quite easily. And it's amazing the strength of epoxy resin. I used a proprietary brand of epoxy resin which is well known to everybody, and for some reason or the other I'm not allowed to mention the company's name. Okay, fine. Epoxy resin is epoxy resin. Anyway, there you are. What do you think of that? Any questions, get in touch. Oh, the reason that this spring support bar is at a peculiar angle is because I really didn't know what length of spring to use, so I thought, oh well, crank it over a bit, glue it on, and then we can reduce it by the balance weight. There you are, up and running. Anyway, thanks for taking the time to have a look. I'll just leave it a running for a moment and thank you very much.